What is up, YouTube? It's Anthony Morello from Morello Sports, and today I'm here to talk about the Yankees' first half. It was the perfect time to do it. It is the unofficial halfway point in that Major League Baseball season, with it being the All-Star break now. And if I was going to give them a grade, I would say probably a B. But before I get started on why I give them a B, 224 subscribers, thank you very much. Loving the progress. One more to 225. Let's hit it. Why not? So, losing Juan Soto in the offseason, I'm just going to turn my iPad on. I'm at it. Losing Juan Soto in the offseason, obviously, you would have expected a downgrade from the Yankees. Right when the Mets signed him. The Yankees, all the way through, definitely had a plan B, thought about, and they did execute the plan B. They got Devin Williams, Cody Bellinger, Paul Goldschmidt, and Max Fried. Those are four high-caliber players. Yes, Goldschmidt is past his prime. You can argue Bellinger's past his prime because they both are former MVPs. But they are still very much better than what the Yankees had last year in Verdugo and Anthony Rizzo. Wow, definitely better. I mean, anyone could have been better, but they're big up. There are big upgrades, and you also have Jason Dominguez coming up as well. And he was expected, obviously, to have a bigger role this year than last year, since the Yankees had a very crowded outfield last year when they had Judge and Soto. Stanton was playing the outfield a little bit. Anthony Rizzo couldn't play first base every day because he's old. I mean, you know, Stan had to do a lot more than he had to. That's why he struggled in the regular season. He had a great playoffs, though. But anyway, we don't need to talk about last season. We're here to talk about this season. So, coming to the season, you were really thinking the Yankees were going to have a good year because you would think the AL was very weak. You would think the best teams in the AL, honestly, what I thought before the season, I had a sleeper pick, and I'm a Yankees fan. I thought the Red Sox were going to be a very big sleeper team, and they were going to be contending the Yankees to win the AL East. If I were to guess on March 27th what the standings would be at the end of the season, I would probably say Yankees 1, Red Sox 2, Orioles 3, Blue Jays 4, Rays 5. And the biggest contenders in the American League being the Astros, the Guardians, and the Orioles, which is not and the Red Sox, obviously, and the Yankees. I thought those were going to be the big contenders. I did expect the Royals not to have a playoff caliber season, which I was kind of right. They're not really doing anything special this year. I'm going to just pull up the standings right now. Let's do that quick. Of course, this is lagging. Standings, here we go. So yeah, the Royals right now 47-50. I was kind of expecting this type of season, but I did not expect the Orioles to have this bad of a season. They're 43-52 right now. I knew Corbin Burnes was going to be a big loss for them because they literally signed Charlie Morton to replace him, which, no, he's terrible. But I did not expect to have that bad of a season. Like, them to have that bad of a season. Like, that's crazy. And the Tigers, I would have never expected to be the best record in the American League at the All-Star break. That's something I did not expect. I knew they had a great ace in Tariq Skubal, but I did not think their bats were really going to be great. Riley Green is an ascending superstar, even though he is leading the league in strikeouts probably. I know he strikes out a lot. I do think he is an ascending superstar. Javi Baez, nobody expected him to have the season he's having. And, of course, Tariq Skubal having a Tariq Skubal-type season. He's starting the All-Star game tomorrow. So the Yankees, they're in second place right now. The Toronto Blue Jays, they are in first place right now. I do think the Yankees will leapfrog them at some point. I do think it's just a hot streak for them, if I'm being completely honest. But the Red Sox, though, 10 in a row to close out. Wow. Did not expect that. I cannot lie. But let's not really talk about the Yankees and why I gave them a B. The start of the season, Garrett Cole and Luis Gil go down. Your top two starters, Rodon and Fried. Opening day, you're probably considering Rodon the ace of the staff, just because Fried is new to the team. Quickly, we learn, even though Rodon's having a great year, that Fried is the ace of the staff. He definitely is the ace of the staff. He has 10-plus wins this season. Even though he had a mediocre start his last start of the break, and he also left after 3 innings because of a blister. Hopefully it's nothing too crazy. He has been a top 5 pitcher in the American League to start this season. Or midway through the season, not start the season. We're 90 games in, 90-plus games in. So, the pitching was expected to be, No one will warrant that. Clark Schmidt, even though his ERA is always very solid, it's always below 4, you kind of view Clark Schmidt as kind of like that 5-inning guy, 5-6 innings. He's never going to give you crazy length. He's kind of just getting out there. He's the classic 5 innings, 1 to 3 runs, which is solid, but the Yankees do need length sometimes, and it seems like he was just pitching 5 innings every game last year. And then he went down with Tommy John surgery, and yeah, that kind of screwed everything up. I can't lie. So now we got this new guy, Cam Schilter, who looked good in his first start. I'm not going to really talk about him. He's still good, and that's all. Let's see if he pans out. Maybe he is the replacement for Clark Schmidt. But the Yankees do need to get a pitcher at the trade deadline. They need to get someone. I do not want Sandy Alcantara because his ERA is absolutely horrible. Unless they can get him for literally Anthony Volpe. As simple as that. The bullpen needs some help. Ian Hamilton's not Ian Hamilton this year. Tim Hill, he's pretty good. It's just I don't know. It's just I want to see what his ERA is. Where's his ERA in this? I don't know why ERA is not on this list. But whatever, doesn't matter. Position-wise, catcher. I'm just going to go through all the positions, and I'll rank every single position. Catcher. We got Austin Wells, J.C. Escara, and I guess Ben Rice, I have to say. Austin Wells, he's going to hover around 210 to 240, I would say, the whole year. But I do feel like he does get a lot of big hits. I can't lie. I feel like when he hits his homers, he hits them with guys on base. He hits, a nice 3-run homer, grand slam. He definitely has a few of those this year. He's a solid catcher. I don't mind him as long as he's not a crazy bad hitting streak or a crazy bad slump. Excuse me. I don't mind him behind the plate. J.C. Escar, definitely a replaceable player. I think basically any backup catcher in the league can do exactly what he's doing. And then Ben Rice is just a backup. But sometimes he does catch. If they have a logjam because Goldschmidt plays first base and now Stanton's a DH, so they do need him sometimes to play catcher if everyone needs to fit into the lineup. I don't know why I was thinking Rice was a right-handed hitter for a second. I don't know. My bad. First base, Paul Goldschmidt and Ben Rice. Solid. Exactly what I expected from Paul Goldschmidt. I wasn't expecting him to hit like crazy. He's definitely an upgrade from Rizzo. He's probably batting around 280 right now. I'll pull up stats now. I might as well while I'm at it. Stats. Paul Goldschmidt is batting 287 right now. High, definitely higher than I expected. Even though he only has 8 home runs, he's 37. He's definitely better than Anthony Rizzo. And he's getting on base. He's getting on base a good amount. Perfect player, exactly what the Yankees need. Second base, Jazz Chisholm. I guess you could say Jorbert Vivas. DJ LeMahieu before he's gone. I guess Oddballs Peraza. I mean, infield. Let's just go the whole infield. I guess that's a better way to put it. I forgot the grade for catcher at first. I would say catcher C+, and first base I'd say a B. So Jazz Chisholm, Anthony Volpe, and then the absolute monstrosity of the third base situation the Yankees have every single season. It seems like every year. There's one position they just don't have. Last year was left fielder. This year it's a third baseman. Every year it's some position they just don't have. Third base an F. Simple as that. Shortstop Anthony Volpe is absolutely horrible. I'm sick and tired of him. He's not a rookie anymore. He should be held to the same standards as other players. I hate him. I don't want him. I don't want him on the team anymore. He's just absolutely horrible. He brings no value with the glove because if you're going to argue he brings value with the glove, he does not bring value with the glove. He literally doesn't. He just absolutely doesn't anymore. He makes hella errors. His arm's not that strong. And he's definitely not winning Gold Glove this year. So Definitely a replaceable player. I would literally rather have Jemer Candelario play. I don't even know if he's a shortstop or not. He definitely played a little bit. I'd rather have Jemer Candelario betting 115 than Anthony Volpe in the lineup every day. I'd rather have Josh Donaldson playing shortstop. It's just, Volpe's hard. But he's betting 214 right now, on base percentage of 287. He does have 49 RBIs, which is third on the Yankees. Oh, no, not third on the Yankees. Fourth on the Yankees. But the amount of guys he leaves on base is just horrible. It's horrible. He's not a great hitter at all. He barely has any power. And honestly, they should just, if he gets under 200, they just gotta just do something about it, because it's really bad. Shortstop, it's a D. It's a D. Second base, Jazz Chisholm. Exactly what we wanted. Exactly what we wanted. His OPS right now is 861. Very solid. Exactly what we traded. One of Cashman's best trades in the last couple of years. And I'll give second base probably a B plus. Since Chisholm was hurt for a little bit and DJ May was playing a little bit. DH, Giancarlo Stanton, Ben Rice. Just being DHs, I'll just give it a B. There's really nothing too crazy. Stanton's being Stanton, strikes out a good amount, hits for power, will crack a few home runs. That's really all. The outfield, Bellinger, Grisham, Judge, Dominguez. It's an A. It's an A. No one expected Trent Grisham to be what Trent Grisham is this season, even though, he did fall off a cliff, but of course he was going to fall off a cliff. He wasn't going to be that crazy. His average is up now to 251. It was down to around 230-something at some point. Cody Bellinger, after a very slow April, really is picking it up. He had a 3-homer game the other day. Absolutely we need. Jason Dominguez finally showing signs of the Jason Dominguez that we were rumored to get when we signed him as a 16-year-old. And I was hearing this guy when I was in 9th grade, 8th grade maybe. Finally, we're seeing why he was called the Martian, why he was a top prospect. He's been great as of maybe June 1st. The outfield's an A. It's absolutely what we expected. So what do the Yankees need to do with the trade deadline to contend for a World Series title? First thing is get rid of all the dead weight in the team, which they already did by getting rid of LeMahieu. Get rid of Marcus Stroman, and you can't say get rid of Anthony Volpe, even though I would love to say that. Just get rid of the dead weight on the team. Get rid of Yerry De Los Santos, if he's still pitching. Brent Hedrick, get rid of him. So all these guys, just get rid of all of them. All the guys that would go in the game, in a 10-1 game, an 8-3 game, just get rid of, and let's get some quality damn players. Let's go out there and get a top-of-line starter. Now, who could you get as a top-of-line starter? Because they do need one. If I mentioned it before, Sandy Alcantara is definitely an option. I don't want him. He has a 7 ERA. I don't want him. He's not the same pitcher he was. I would take Zach Allen or Merrill Kelly, but if they do trade with the Diamondbacks, we better get Eugenio Suarez in that deal. We better get our third baseman. He's a rental. He shouldn't cost that much. And as long as we don't get rid of George Lombard or Spencer Jones, I'll be all right with it. If they have to part ways with Spencer Jones, I would do it. Reason being is you have Judge and you have Dominguez in the outfield. Grisham's obviously not going to be on the team next year, but I do think that Spencer Jones is definitely expendable in the right scenario. Like, if the Yankees were going to get Paul Skeens, which, it's not going to happen, but let's just say that was a rumor, I would give up whoever they need to give up to get Paul Skeens. And that is contingency that he does sign a long-term deal with the Yankees. I would give up Lombard. I would give up Spencer Jones. I would give up Jason Dominguez. Because even though these prospects, I would give up Ben Hess. I would give anyone they want in within reason, not like 8 prospects. It's Paul Skeens. It's the best starter in the league. I mean, what else do you want? You're talking about prospects and how good they can get. We're going to be talking about the best pitcher in baseball here. So if they need to expend these prospects, they can expend these prospects. Just make sure this is good. But Eugenio Suarez is definitely the target the Yankees should be looking for. And I honestly do see them getting him. I do see them, if the Diamondbacks are selling, I do see the Yankees going out there and getting Eugenio Suarez. And like I was saying about the prospects, the Yankees tout their prospects way too high every single year, every single season. And it seems like every time they hype up a prospect, they don't turn out to be exactly what they were expecting. So even though George Lombard looks like this great player right now, if in the right circumstance, you give him away. You trade him. Because the Yankees, you have to realize, Judge is in his prime. Judge is in his prime, and it's not going to be for that much longer. We need to win now, not in 5 years. Even if Lombard comes up and tears the cover off the ball, I mean, we're not going to win a World Series because of him. Paul Skeens the guy that could put us over the hump. Because if we have a starting three right here, this is just obviously hypothetical. Obviously not going to get Paul Skeens. I'm just putting in hypothetical to prove a point with the prospects. Paul Skeens, Carlos Rodon, Max Fried. I mean, that could put you over the hump. So if they need to give up some prospects, give up some prospects. I think that's definitely what they need to do. Definitely get a bullpen arm. They really need to get a bullpen arm. Emmanuel Clase or Joan Duran would be my two targets there. And then, I don't really know many names, but just a long reliever, a solid long reliever, a 2 to 4 ERA. They can maybe pitch like 40, 50 pitches at a time. I think they do need someone like that. They can start checking. Like a Carlos Carrasco, but just a reliever version of him, but better. But the Yankees, it is a solid start to the year. A solid midway point of the year. But I do think they do need... Again, there are holes on this roster. And I just want to make a point now with the Yankees. They have this unfixable flaw. I feel every year it's the same exact problem. It seems like every year they start out hot. They're doing everything they need. They do everything they need. They're winning games. They're doing everything they need to do. And then they fall off a cliff. Who's at the helm of that? It's Aaron Boone. And I do get you can't blame Aaron Boone for everything. Because sometimes you have to put accountability on the players. You can't just be saying Aaron Boone is the problem. Aaron Boone's the problem. Aaron Boone's the problem. But it seems like every year they lack the same exact things. Fundamental baseball. Base running. Every year, it's the same stupid problems that plague this team. And it's since Aaron Boone has become the manager of this baseball team in 2017 or whatever, 2018. It just seems like it's the same thing every single year. And yeah, maybe it's just because Aaron Judge is the core team. Who knows? But I feel like the philosophy of the Yankees just seems off. It just seems off. Every year they fall off. And when they're bad, they're bad. For example, within the last 2 weeks, they had the worst losing streak I've ever seen. I don't know what was going on. They got swept by the Blue Jays, and that cost us the division lead. And then they look like the best team in baseball again against the Cubs Friday. But then Matthew Boyd comes on the mound and pitches 8 shutout innings against them. It's ridiculous. If I go right now onto MLB, I'll go straight onto this team's schedule. Here we go. They lost 4 in a row to Toronto, 2 in a row to the Mets, which they blew the game on July 4th. And then they win 5 in a row. They sweep Seattle, and Seattle was hot. They were basically the best pitching team the week before they played them. And they went out the first game and scored 10 runs. They scored, literally, this is the amount of runs they were scoring. They were scoring 6, 10, 9, 6, 11. And then Matthew Boyd, Judge is a garbage time home run. They lose, and they lose again. 5-2, 4-1, both losses. It just seems like it's just inconsistency every single year with this baseball team. They're inconsistent, they can't hit the good pitching, and they lack fundamental baseball. Maybe it's Boone, maybe it's not Boone. I have no idea, but it has to change. Something has to change. Because, yeah, I see the same thing happening in the playoffs this year. The same thing. And I don't even count last year because they played the two crappiest teams in baseball last year in the playoffs. But the damn Royals, they freaking White Sox could even run for their money last year. And the Guardians, it's the Guardians. They've been mediocre for 17,000 years. So, yeah, they had a cakewalk. And since 2020, the only teams they could beat in the playoffs are the AL Central. Every time they play an AL East team or an AL West team, they lose. They lose every year. Only the AL Central. They beat every team in the AL Central. You put one other team against it, they lose every game. They lose every game. So, yeah, they made the World Series last year. Yeah, they had Juan Soto last year. But they also had a cakewalk to make the World Series. Wasn't expecting to rant today, I can't lie. But I guess that's the daily rant for the day. But overall, considering everything, it's not the worst possible. But in Judge's prime, in the plethora, in the peak of his prime, the Yankees should be doing better. And they should be going all in this season. Trade whoever they have to trade and get players because the American League is weaker than it usually is. Again, if you consider the Tigers a threat in the playoffs, they're one, and I don't wish this on anyone, obviously. I'm just saying, they are one Tariq Skubal injury from being what they were from 2013 to 2020. Absolutely horrible. The Blue Jays won't hold it up. The Yankees can make it back to the World Series this year, and we'll worry about the World Series when the World Series happens. But that's really all I got to talk about today. Thank you guys for watching. More videos will be coming out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.